Hello, beautiful souls, family. Welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about the sacred feminine arts practices. I'm going to be sharing some misconceptions and what I think about those, and I'm going to be sharing what I feel really is the core essence of the sacred feminine arts practices. I'm going to share a little bit about my journey, and at the end I've also got a little something that I want to share with you, so if you can stay to the end that would be great. And yeah, if any of this resonates, then please share with your friends, share with anybody that you know would benefit from this video, because it really does help. And don't forget to subscribe. Okay, so we're going to begin, we're going to go. Now, if you have been around for quite some time, you will know that my videos have primarily been about cosmic sound healings and activations with light codes, light language, or like soul language. And this is because it is truly like the core of my being. Like I know that I'm a star being. Like that's my essence of my soul lineage has really come quite directly from these multidimensional experiences, so that I can transfer a lot of these teachings and frequencies through my experience here as a human. And along that path has always been about soul memories, soul overlays as well, like experiential, ancestral, and past life, if you want to call it, overlays. So I might be having an experience and I can see that there's this like overlay experience of when I've done that thing before. For instance, that's like an example of what I mean by an overlay. Or I have dreams and different things like that recall memories of different lifetimes. That I, as a child, you would not know those things. Like I wouldn't have been exposed to some of the things that I had memories of as a child. So I think that when you listen to what children have gone through and they talk about that, like you just can't make that up. Like when they're just about to, they're just learning to speak, and then they're telling you about different lifetimes. I believe it. Obviously it's coming through me, so of course I'm going to believe me, but and just for those skeptics maybe that might be there, and along that way has always been, from since a child, memories of being hunted actually as a witch. Not very good dreams at all. And yeah, these past life memories, priestess, witches, really honoring the sacred union, temple practices, and really reconnecting as well to the sacred lineage of the rose, the Avalon, the Mu lineages. They're all very, very prevalent in my experience. And along the way, I've been going to places like Glastonbury, where you may know is like also Avalon. It's now called Glastonbury. It's a town, not a festival. The festival's there. It originates from that area. And through being there, going into these sacred churches and chapels and stone circles, and getting dunked into the water, and in the Whitechapel, I was having lots of profound memories there as well. And the information that I was getting from my inner guidance was very much to work with my body to reconnect and recall these memories, get more clarity, bring through the gifts. And I did that with yoni eggs, and going on a very beautiful deep dive container of Taoist tantric practices, and training that. And I went through to Central America to go and do that. And there's been lots and lots of things unfolding for me to understand these practices, and there's definitely been the stigma around these things for myself. So this is why I feel quite passionate about debunking some of that, because I myself on my journey have sometimes felt these things, okay? And I think it's perfectly normal when we haven't come from certain backgrounds, or we may have certain suppressions, traumas, and a background of, hiding and suppressing our sacred feminine body or sexuality or anything like that. So we can learn to unravel those things so that we can come into more neutrality and non-judgment as well. So here we go. Okay, I've written them down so we can be quite precise. I've written, it's about being overtly sexual. So I think so often people think that, Tao Tantric practices, sacred feminine arts practices in general are very sexual, and that it's all about, getting yourself prepared to make love to somebody. And it's not all about that. It's about the inner union. It's actually about nurturing your life force energy, which holds masculine and feminine energy as well. So the more that we can actually start to look at the truth and the traditions and the ancient practices, which focused actually a lot on breath work, meditation, intention, and movement that supported our body to reconnect to the divine. This is really what it's about. And then we can come into union with another person, and that is going to amplify that. But it's not really necessarily even essential for the amplification. It's about the internal work is the most important thing, right? And then I've written, it's all about being feminine, meaning it's just about the feminine energy. And sometimes even people think that they have certain lists of what feminine actually is, meaning they think that maybe feminine energy is about being subdued or quiet or soft and floaty and fairy-like, and that's all of the feminine. Whereas the feminine has broad levels of archetypes that we go into. We can really start to explore these different archetypes to understand that it is a vast array of expression, of human expression. And these feminine energies and feminine and masculine energies are within all beings. So the sacred feminine arts practices are really, but why it says the feminine arts practices is because it promotes healing and support for the feminine body, that anatomy that is, the breasts, it is the ovaries, it is the fallopian tubes, it is the womb, it's the whole entire womb, it's the whole entire yoni, the vaginal canal, the vagina, everything, okay? These areas are very important for women to support their health. And when we have certain practices that we can use daily, we can release so much shame, so much distortion. We can release, and we can also activate, and we can awaken our life force energy. We can move in this world with empowerment. And I think the one thing that we're seeing a lot in this world is this disempowerment of women. We're seeing disempowerment of all beings who are getting caught down this rabbit hole of pornography and self-image shaming. There's so much sabotage around self-image, with people getting all kinds of work done to distort their bodies from what their natural creation, wanting to change your hair. And I'm not totally shaming anyone. I don't know the full stories and the full whack of everything that's going on, but from my personal experience, it's so easy to get caught up in thinking, I've got tiny lips, should I have bigger lips? Will people love me more? Will I be more appreciated? Will I be more attractive if I keep doing that? And then they get bigger and bigger and bigger because the dysmorphia really kicks in, and then they're losing sight of even just having that little bit just to get rid of the self-consciousness, because the self-consciousness doesn't go away. That's the internal work, right, that we need to do. So doing that internal work first, and then making a decision from there. Do you still want to go ahead and do those things? It's not about necessarily bulldozering everything, but it's about really knowing whether that is going to be right for you. So doing these sorts of practices really help us understand that from within ourselves, whether it's something we want, because we've cultivated a lot of self-love and appreciation for our bodies, for our vessels. We've brought in more of our essence, more of our soul. We're not getting sidetracked by social media and the conditioning of everybody else around us who are maybe doing similar things. And then we make a decision from the place of sovereignty. So yeah, and then we have, it's all about goddess and not God. And it's kind of a similar vein of like, it's all about sexuality and not about spirituality. It's never either or. Like, this is a very wholesome, encompassing practices that we can do in the sacred feminine arts. It's all about cultivating a relationship to the divine. So it's really knowing that we are feminine and masculine. It's knowing that we are God, goddess, that we are mother, father, God. We are universal creation, life force energy. Everything is made up of that. And the goddess is like the matter, the physical things. And God is like the consciousness, it's the energy. It's like that Shiva, Shakti, which we would talk, and that's the language we would use in the Sanskrit in Tantra, for instance. But we've lost a lot of that in, Western culture, like that connection to that life force energy, And so this is what it's really at the core it's about. It's about the life force energy, reconnecting to our life force energy, reclaiming it, all those fragmented ways that it has been used, distorted, and used to, create all sorts of things that without our full consent, all the times that our feminine body may have been mistreated in any way, these are the things that really help us to come back to our body and clearing those things out of the body, because it gets held in the cellular memory. It can get held especially in the womb. If someone has physically experienced sexual trauma, whether we remember it or not, maybe it's multidimensional, it could be from another lifetime, it could be an ancestor that has experienced that, but we start feeling the shame, we start feeling the pain and the projections in our reality of experiences with people that we want to have maybe relationships with. It could cause certain boundaries that are not healthy for us. We may actually lack boundaries, so we need to learn those as well. And these are all the things that we can learn in the sacred feminine arts. We work with the breast within like massage. There's so many women that I've worked with who have never massaged their breasts, and they're just like, whoa, this is incredible, this is amazing, and we're having a good time, we're laughing when we're massaging breasts, because it brings all this laughter energy. It opens up the heart, opens us up to divine, opens us up to our true nature. And it's actually scientifically, it's circulating the lymphatic, it's circulating the blood, and it's connected to the endocrine system, so it helps to move and work with the hormones. It helps to release the tissue and the myofascia around the breast, which holds sometimes trauma. We do the same with the yoni. We can massage our yoni as well. All these pressure points internally. There is reflexology points inside the vaginal canal. Okay, so opening up to that, you actually are massaging and working with your organs. So taking away from this aversion of needing it to be something that's a sexual act, thinking that that is something that is seeded, you're actually nurturing and supporting all of your body to health. This is so important. In Taoism, we work with all of the meridians that run along the breasts, and our nipples are actually connected to our clitoris. So if you are blocked because maybe you've had sexual trauma or for whatever reason having orgasms, you actually are able to stimulate that through the breast and help to open up the opportunity to connecting to that orgasmic frequency and energy, which again is just moving the energy in that sacral area in the womb. Okay, because there's also like a womb chakra as well, like there's little different energy points there. We start to open that up where our Shakti, our life force energy is mostly predominantly there, and we can actually then cultivate that energy to move through our body. And we don't have to do it through certain acts, but through, like, I'm talking about working with another person physically, needing to be penetrated, but actually through working with different modalities, okay? The sacred feminine arts modalities. And you can start to learn those when you are working with a mentor who will tell you and guide you and give you the information so that you can start to practice that and implement that. And then you start to see the shifts and changes in your life as well. It's not about, thinking that you need to do this all on your own, or that, if you do this, that you are disconnecting to pure source creation. It is the creational portal. It is where life comes into physically. So we can actually work with this energy so it moves through our body to heal our body. Very, very powerful stuff. So yeah, accessing your creative life force, it supports your feminine anatomy and it reconnects to the creator, reconnects you to God, so pure source creation, which opens us up to so much. Again, I've had women who literally, they felt so angry and blocked and they couldn't speak their truth. And then through some of these practices, even like working with their rage, showing them how to sacredly express their rage in a safe container, allowed them then to open up to poetry and writing and sharing things like that, because they felt so safe and secure to open up to that, because they've created the space in their body from not holding on to these trapped emotions that were held in the body. We work with opening the heart. The heart and the womb are like this figure of 8. I see it like the Vesica Pisces, between the two, this energy that needs to flow through us in order for us to really live in harmony with all of life. I see people who have been able to communicate more with like plant life as well and animal life after doing this. And that might not seem like something that's so important to some people, but it is, because it means that we are we're moving beyond the reality where we're shut off from anything else and seeing ourselves as separate beings, because we're starting to pierce through a veil and we're starting to move into a space where we feel so intricately connected to everything that it starts to communicate with us through that life force energy that is intertwined within all things. I've had these experiences myself where one was when I was in this shamanic ceremony and this guy was doing all this drumming and everything, and my Kundalini was like, whew, it really just went through this journey with all the elements. He was taking us through all the elements, and this giant tree came to me, and they showed me how they were like in this like infinite orgasm, like all the roots, and then all the way up through, and it's like this like portal of like divine energy, but it was like everything was just like all continuous, that the tree of life. It basically showed me itself as a tree of life, but it was like a living, breathing tree, and I could see all of the light that was running through it. And it just showed me how like this is us, this is everything is doing this, everything is moving with this life force energy. And when we allow it, when we surrender to it, it is then when it can move in a harmonious way. When we push it away, when we force it to try and move in a different way, it'll either be completely shut off, suppressed, or it comes out in a very unhealthy way. Which again, this could come across as like someone who has like personality disorders, because they just feel like, their energy is like running and moving through them, but they just don't want to, they can't face who they truly are. So they create all of these other realities for themselves. It could be even seen as something as simple as, someone who just like can't hold a job down or something. They feel too scattered, and they're always like running late for work, and they're always losing things, and they like can't keep on top of anything because their energy is just like scattered. They haven't got that like clear channel of like, this is who I am, this is what I'm here to do. And like their higher self can guide them and go, oh, don't forget to take your phone out of the car. But they don't, they forget, they keep forgetting and leaving their phone in the car because they're not here, they're not embodied, and their soul's not there fully speaking to them and guiding them because they're shut themselves off and they're like running on a different energy. So we want to reconnect to that. So yeah, anyway, I hope that has been helpful to you. And if you want to know more about working with me one-on-one, then reach out and we can have a discovery call, which is about 30-40 minute long, where we just discuss a little bit about you and what's going on for you in your life and how you think that maybe working with me could help, and then I could give you some pointers on that. At the moment, until the 5th of April, so we haven't got long now, I'm offering 50% off, which is half price of the Radiant Womb Mentorship. This is a Taoist energy practice. So again, we work with the breasts and we work with energy healing modality. So we work with what we call the wands of light, and we work with the Taoist sounds to clear and rejuvenate your womb space. And we work with Taoist breath as well to help to activate our microcosmic orbit so that you can feel your energy and your life force running in the right direction and sublimating that energy so that you can direct it into your life. So yeah, I really love this little practice. It's a 5-week session, so we just go through this protocol for 5 days, and you'll start to see this incredible shift that starts to unravel over the course of the 5 days. And then you also have some wonderful practices to practice all beyond the time that we are together, because you get the online platform as well, so you get the mini course along with that, so you get to come back to the practice and then keep doing it with yourself afterwards as well, which I think is a really beautiful gift. Totally priceless, of course. So yeah, I hope everyone has enjoyed this video. If you'd like to hear more about this particular topic or anything else that I could share with you, then let me know. I'd love to create more videos that will explain things in a way that is hopefully helpful and easy to understand, and hopefully debunk some of those things that we skirt around. I just think there's so many people out there that probably would love to know about sexual energy healing modalities and sacred feminine arts and how to enhance their connection to their feminine body, but they're too timid, and it because it might be that that it looks overtly sexual and they don't want to start doing sexual things with somebody that they don't know, or doing certain things over the video call which you just wouldn't do. We only do things that that will benefit you, and a lot of the time we do a lot of work that is about just removing like blockages and trauma and things like that, so that then the life force energy naturally starts to move through you, and then you feel guided within yourself to move that energy. Like I said, even that was like my path. I used to get these guidances of like, oh, go and get a yoni egg, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll start doing that and working with that. I did that all on my own. Okay, so you can start to do these practices that come to you when you feel more open and safe. But a safe container is the most important thing. Being with someone who can guide you with utmost safety and care and love for you. So enjoy the rest of your week, people. I am glad that you've come here, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Bye for now.